I wrote a song in January 2023, and it is all about feeling empowered and overcoming hardships in however way you'd like, and just feeling stunning and liberated while you do it. And the inspiration behind it was obviously boys being annoying, but now I feel like it's so much more than that, you know, but that was the inspo. Thanks, hun. Hello, everybody.
Instead I wrote a song about how you did me wrong. I could have cried at home and spent the night alone. Instead I wrote a song, I feel much better now. Me and my girls are out and we all sing along. Instead I wrote a song.
What I kind of get a kick out of is like when I've gone through things with people and then them having to like hear my songs on the radio, like that must be so annoying for them, and I was like, that might be quite funny to like sing about. I knew I didn't want it to be sad. I wanted it to get people up, but I wanted it to be in my own way and I wanted it to sound like me. I actually had the initial idea not in the studio. This is really random, but I was walking back from the gym and I was doing my like power walk. I went into the studio that day with Lewis Thompson and Karen Poole, who are like amazing musicians, and I had never worked with Lewis or Karen before in the room. So I was kind of like, I want to come with something, like I don't just want to like turn up with nothing. And like I said, I was kind of going through stuff, and so I was on my way back from the gym and I had what was the first line that I had? It was originally, instead I wrote a song about it, and you hear it on the radio wherever you go, da 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 da. That's all I had going into the studio, and then from there we kind of like got into the nitty-gritty and the storytelling. I wanted it to be bouncy but like kind of sexy and sultry and like mysterious almost. I didn't want it to be like, whoa! And he just smashed that brief. I don't know how, but he did. And then it kind of came out sounding just so much better than I could even imagine. I kept my cool and composure. There's one line which is my favourite line of the song. I was ready for a sentence, baby. Instead, I wrote it all down. Because I just love that imagery of like, I was ready to go to prison. But instead, I composed myself. I wrote it down and I've got this banger, and I like that kind of like double meaning as well. I'd already actually written the song before I even knew that Eurovision was even like on the cards, which just made the whole thing even more like surreal, because it was only like a few weeks later after I wrote a song that the opportunity came about. And I literally said, when I got told, I was like, this is the weirdest thing, because I feel like I've just written like a Eurovision song.
Look into my eyes, she's feeling good.
So once I knew the song was going to be used for Eurovision, I did have to kind of put my Eurovision hat on a little bit and go, okay, now within context, that spoken word middle eight section wasn't there at the beginning at all. And I thought, because it's the biggest, stage in the world and it's like so many people are going to hear it, I thought it would be really nice to get a moment which almost felt quite intimate, and it's like I can directly just be speaking to the audience or whoever's watching. The result was pretty extreme and it was not what I expected, but I'm very good at like self-deprecating, and like in the next few days I was like posting TikToks about it, and I'm very good at laughing at myself. But on the night, like it was really hard and I was like heartbroken. I gave myself one day to feel like my life was over, and because I needed that just to process and get it out. And then after that, when I started posting the TikToks and kind of just owning it and like taking ownership of the narrative, like I just felt like it was almost just another new beginning. And now, after all of that, going through all of that, it has just pushed me even more. Being able to say that I've got like my debut album is on the way and I wrote a song that's going to be on it, it just really feels like a real full circle moment. Writing this album and releasing it has really, really taught me that there's just as much power in showing like vulnerability and showing that other side. And because it's impossible to feel good all the time, every day, and I think I'm still learning now, like how to show that and how to feel comfortable showing that. But like, I'm so lucky that that this album helped me do that, and I think people will be able to hear that I'm sort of, you know, showing that there are different sides, and that's okay, and we're multifaceted human beings, and I think that's nothing to shy away from.